Good evening. People are, I think, already very tired end of the day. So we have to get this. I normally, whenever I start, of course, first let us finish the formalities. So thank you, Gurujis and respected students here. My name, my introduction is already done. I won't be able to take your introduction, respective introductions. But one thing I do is whenever I start any lecture, I say let's start with one thing. Anything that we start, forget these kind of formal meetings. Anything that we start, what is one thing definitely required for us? You can shout from there. Don't worry. I will try to hear it. What is one thing definitely we require? Maybe we are washing our car. Maybe we are cooking. Maybe we are doing anything. Anything that we do.
Concentration.
We need concentration. Absolutely. Then what else?
Patience.
Interest, patience, passion. What else? What else is required? So we require everything. Whatever you said. We need concentration. We need passion. We need interest. We need all that. I would say one common denominator if we have to put. We require energy. We need energy for passion. We need energy for concentration. We need energy for everything that we do. One of the first thing I think somebody was trying to say that. Okay, energy. So energy is one thing that we definitely require. So just to ensure that we have this energy, at least for the next half an hour, my request is just say just one more time with lot of energy and passion. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you so much. Make noise. Make noise. Make noise. When I say make noise, it's not that you have to go home and then shout at your parents or you have to shout in the classrooms. The idea is that we need to make an impact. Whatever we do, we need to make an impact. That is what making noise is all about. We as students, all of you, when I say we, all of you, once you are students, once you go back, once you attend the interview, you need to create an impact. When you go and then go to the corporate world, you need to make an impact. Everywhere you need to make an impact. That is where we need to make a lot of noise, no doubts about it. So we start with this premise that we should have basically energy. One of the things which I once again another way I normally do whenever I do the lecture and any talk is starting with two simple words. Any guess? Anytime I do a workshop, I do 1 day workshop, 2 day workshop. For summer engineering, I do for 5 days workshop, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Any workshop, one of the first things which I say is, I would like to start with two simple words. What could it be? I ask questions, no? I'm sorry. I should not be the only person talking here. Yeah. What could it be? Two simple words. While you start anything. While I start anything, I always start with two simple words. One is of course good morning and good evening or good afternoon, all that. I start with thank you. Thank you for being here. Because I am sure there are a lot of better things in life which you want to do outside your waiting. Some people already found out the meaning of life when they already run away. Okay, there are a lot of things waiting outside which is much more interesting than things which I see which is doing here. So I say thank you for being here. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the opportunity to be of value. Thank you for the opportunity to learn this lovely subject along with all of you. Psychology is an amazing subject. Of course, chemical engineering is the best. No doubts about it. We are not in a court where we are trying to argue which is better. Undoubtedly, chemical engineering is the best because in alumni association, we are trying to, we have been collecting the database. We have been trying to get a lot of information. We realize that I would say at least 85% of the people are doing something which is very successful in life, which has got nothing to do with chemical engineering. Okay. So which means that it should be a great subject, no doubts about it, because it gives us a overall view of life in general, so much that all of us have in fact for preparing this I took a lot of chemical engineering books. What questions I left off in choice wrote wrong. Yeah, those questions I took it up. I learned a lot of things. Actually, if you ask me, chemical engineering is very interesting. If you don't write an exam. You are very happy with the exam, no problem. But otherwise, subject is amazing. So here I have chosen this subject. I am here to learn psychology along with all of you, linking it to chemical engineering. I went to the net. I thought information. Some experts must have already done some work. Some books must have been written. At least, is there any link between psychology and engineering in general? Yes, that we will come to. Okay, but chemical engineering, no, unfortunately, there is nothing which is written linking psychology and chemical engineering. Not even a paper. Not even any internet. Some material here and there. Perhaps this is the first attempt that we are making here. World's first attempt to link psychology with engineering, with chemical engineering, which I think I should be thanking all of you, because we are going to make a joint effort. Because a lot of chemical engineering I may not know. I did a lot of courses on psychology, so my mind is fresh on psychology. So if anything, if I make a mistake on something on chemical engineering, please pardon me. Because you can correct me. You can always say that I think you've gone wrong, or I will say that when I studied it was like that, and now they've changed. So I will escape that way. So you need to make some corrections. So a lot of efforts have happened with respect to engineering and psychology. Any guess what is that called? I mean, linking engineering and psychology, or finding out when anybody is doing some engineering design, they try to find out human psychology and then try to do some changes with respect to engineering. What could that be? I mean, what does that feel? Any guess? Take a guess. You have been answering so far all right, so I'm sure you will say this also right. Okay, it's called work study, motion study. So this is in engineering. A lot of human psychology, psychology has been added into it. So they try to do it. In fact, the simplest thing which I can think of, I mean, now I'm thinking on the feet, is this pedal bins. These bins which open up like that, the pedal bins. When our children used to be younger, we used to play this game. They won't eat well, so we'll call them and we'll say you are like a pedal bin. So I'll press your leg and then you open your mouth. So the children will open their mouth thinking that they are dustbins. So you put all the whatever, Cerelac and all that. Whatever they don't, whatever is left as waste comes to the parents. So that's a different story altogether. So the pedal bins is another combination of psychology and engineering. So there could be a lot of things. For example, graphic user interface. Why did GUI come into the picture? It's because of integration of psychology with engineering. There will be a lot of things. But I will just put here, why is psychology important for us? Heard about Warren Buffett? If you have heard about Warren Buffett, don't pronounce his name as Buffet. Buffet is for food. His actual name is Buffett. B-U-F-F-E-T. If you know Warren Buffett, say yes along with me. Yes. Okay. So you heard about Warren Buffett. Okay. Heard about Charles Munger? Charles Munger. If you have heard about Charles Munger, say yes along with me. Yes. Lesser. Okay. He is a deputy. If you heard about Warren Buffett, people went to Warren Buffett and asked him, what's the success? Why are you successful? Why is it that 52 CEOs are reporting to you and then you have been making billions in investment? What's the success? So they said, Warren Buffett said, go out of Raman Auditorium and then find out that the person who is outside is Charlie Munger. Okay, Charles Munger. So Charles Munger is the vice chairman of Warren Buffett's company. So people, all the press reporters, all now ran towards Charlie and then said, Charlie, what's the reason for success? Why is your organization very successful? You know what he said? Irrespective of the discipline that we are all experts in. I'm repeating a very important lesson in life for us. Okay, take it very seriously. My request is, nobody told me at your age, nobody told me this. I learned it very late in life. Whichever discipline that we are experts in, what will take us up the corporate ladder is psychology. Charles Munger, deputy to Warren Buffett, he said what will take us up the corporate ladder is the respective core competence that we will all be having in whatever field we are. That's okay, fine. But we will be able to climb faster, we will be able to do much better once you start doing. My request is, many of you are finishing chemical engineering. How many of you are final year students here? Final year students? Final year students, 3.5. So some people are raising their hand only so much. This is full, this is half. Okay, 3.5. 3, 4 people. That means bulk of the people are still in the, trying to see what chemical engineering is all about. Okay. So once you come to the final engineering, it becomes much more interesting because at the verge of leaving, you will like it. Then after you go to the corporate world, my request is, along with your course, try to do some course on psychology. It's more a suggestion, get into the net, read more. If you want suggestions, I will give you my mail ID, I will give you a lot of courses which we can do, even correspondence. We don't need to do even full time, but it will take us along, it will go a long way. Okay, one small point which I should make is, when I was preparing the slides, I'm not making it interesting now. Okay. When I was preparing the slides, I prepared it for IACH members. I was thinking that, here is going to be a hall which will have a lot of. Would anyone want to leave in the next 10-15 seconds, so that in between you don't start moving? We wait for 15 seconds. If you want to go right now, please go down. 10, 9, 8. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lost the opportunity to run away. So, fine, okay. So this is your life. I mean, I'm only talking about your life. I'm not, because our lives are already over. So we are only trying to see if we can add value to you all. So one of the things which we could have been told when we were doing engineering is to look at psychology a little more seriously. We looked at psychology maybe in some movies, maybe some here and there we would have read something. Those days internet was not there. But today there's a lot of wealth of information available. But which courses, what we can do, what will help, all that we can discuss. But why is it important is that not because Charlie said alone, it is because anything, if you start coming into the corporate world, it's all about being with people. It's all about, once you grow, you become, I became a business head in Honeywell. So that was a Tata company that time. So when I was number 2, reporting to my managing director, who was 13 years younger to me. So the only way is to manage. The only way is to manage people. So all about psychology, all our engineering, all our competence, all that is just there as a access control card. Have you observed access control card? You have a card, you just show there on the door will open for us. That's it. And if we do more academic courses, you do this, BTech chemical engineering, then you do masters, then you do MS. All that means more doors and more windows of opportunities are going to open. No doubts about it. That is only the entry point. Once you are entered through the door or window, any of the window opportunity, you come inside. After that, it is all about all about handling human beings. Completely about handling human beings. If we are juniors, we need to know how to handle the boss. And once you become bosses, you need to know how to handle the juniors. It's all about man management. So it's all about importance. That's why we are discussing the whole thing. I've just put some terminologies here. These are psychology terminologies, not necessarily related to chemical engineering, but all of them are related to engineering in general. We'll just have a look at it. I'm not going to ask. I'm not going to explain anything. I'm sure all of you know everything. Energy, we spoke about energy. It's actually a psychological term. Constant, we know what is constant. We know what is variable. We know constraints. We know transient. We have to be always in steady state. We know about what is discrete. We know what is continuous. Pressure, surface tension. Yeah. We all undergo pressure, stress, strain, friction, inertia, balance, speed, velocity, acceleration. What's the difference? What's the difference? Speed, velocity, acceleration. I'm sure you know it. Shout, just shout, no problem. The auditorium has been redone compared to how it was when we studied. It looks nice. When we studied, it was pathetic. It is really looking wonderful now. Tell me what is speed, velocity, acceleration? Just shout. I don't have anything for right answers, no penalty for wrong answers. Just make an attempt. No harm. Shout. If you know the answer, just say yes along with me. Yes. Yes. Some voices are there. Okay, that means you know it. Okay, so we leave it. If people don't know, people who have said yes, you can always ask them. Okay, it's something to do with direction is velocity, and acceleration is the way velocity changes. Okay, that's fine. So I'm going to get into chemical engineering now. Okay, now people, if you have already gone through these subjects, you have to help me. So be ready. Like I said, it's very interesting when you look at some of the things related to, various things related to chemical engineering, linking it to psychology. Now, if you look at thermodynamics, how many of you have already had the subject on thermodynamics? Okay, at least more than 50%. Okay. So you know that whenever we are talking of thermodynamics, the initial pages of the book says about system. We have to start viewing system as us. Okay, we are the system. What is around us is the surroundings, and the word surroundings is used in thermodynamics. It has not changed. Only V has been changed to system. So that's the only change that has happened. But otherwise, you find surroundings still remains a surrounding. And the boundary is boundary, the same. I mean, it's same as English, same behavioral science word, and the same psychology word. Heard about isolated systems? Yeah, isolated system is when I am isolating myself. So when I am an isolated system, when I am isolating myself, I start meditating. I start communicating with myself. I get into a meditative state. I discuss within myself, and I reach what is known as an internal equilibrium. Wow. It's a perfect psychological term. And that's thermodynamics for us. Okay, so I think if we start learning chemical engineering this way, it becomes easier to understand. It suddenly becomes a very interesting subject altogether. So isolated is all about internal. So talking about internal, we should talk about external also. External equilibrium is with the surroundings. And that means what? As human beings, the more we are comfortable with the external world outside, we will be achieving what what we always say as external equilibrium. Now, when we meditate, okay, I'll introduce you to some little bit of brainwave studies. We'll try to make it light. It should be interesting enough. I'll just trigger your thinking so that you can read further. You don't have to write down, but somewhere you make a mental note. 0 to 4, 4 to 7, 7 to 14, greater than 14. Okay, these are numbers. What are these numbers? These are, if I were to connect an electroencephalogram to calculate the frequency of the brain. ECG we all know, is electrocardiogram, where you will find the hero or heroine will be admitted. You will find in a movie the it will oscillate, and after that it becomes straight line. That means the story is over. So that is a ECG. But EEG is electroencephalogram, which is measuring the frequency. Frequency we know it is cycles per second, and it is Hz, which is hertz. So we measure hertz. All the numbers which I just mentioned is all the frequency of the brain. When do we call a person dead? When the frequency, when measured with an electroencephalogram, that reading shows 0. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, then only we call the person as dead. Now, if there is little amount of reading in that EEG, which shows about 1 and 2, less than 4, then we don't declare that person as dead. We say that the person is in coma. Yeah, somebody is already prompting that person is in coma. And little amount of frequency is there. That means some activity is there. 4 to 7 is our deep sleep. We all have that. We all go through that stage. Now we are in beta stage. Beta stage is above 14. Now if we were to measure, it is about 16, 17. If you are very angry, you may be about 17, 18. You are tensed. You have already fixed up an appointment. Thinking that there is going to be 4 to 5 programs. So 5:15 I'll come. You just wait near the parking area if you have told somebody, and then if you are biting your nails, maybe you will be about 18, 19. If you are angry and you are throwing already, you are breaking already pencils and pen without me able to see, if you are willing to throw suddenly, you will be close to 19 and 20. So it will go to 20, 21. We are very angry people. Okay. So we are now, let us say, about 14, 15, 16, 17, around that. We are not that angry, I am assuming. That is the stage. We go through, in between I left a stage. What is that stage I left? 7 to 14 is called alpha, the best performing portion of the brain. Okay, our brain performs extremely well only from 7 to 14, and it's called alpha. It's called alpha. Which this one is this language is this alpha, beta, gamma, delta. Greek is it? Greek or Latin? Greek. Okay, let's say Greek because majority is saying so. It should be right. So majority of you are saying that it's Greek. So let's say Greek. Greek. The very reason they used alpha for 7 to 14 there must be a reason for that. They didn't call this as alpha, they called this as beta. So most powerful is the 7 to 14, which unfortunately we pass through that in a minute or maybe maximum 5 minutes twice in 24 hours. When is that? Now we are in beta stage, which is about more than 14. We said deep sleep is 4 to 7. We are saying 7 to 14 is the best. Very efficient. Efficiency is once again a term, engineering term, chemical engineering term. If we are very efficient, brain as a process, if you take, we pass through that twice. When is that? When we wake up from deep sleep, we come to beta, that it goes up in the toilet, it goes up when we brush our teeth or something, it's gone. And when we are about to sleep, it's gone. Once again, we are reading something or switching off lights and that's it, gone, 5. So the most powerful of the brain is already gone. Now why I am mentioning this to you is because as students, we prepare early morning. We get up early morning and parents will say, so we get up early morning, we keep an alarm. Not necessary. Even if we read late night also, it's absolutely fine. No problem at all. Some of our clocks work early morning, some of our clocks work late night. So it's absolutely fine. So if any of your parents are objecting, you can give my reference if you're comfortable reading late nights. Not a problem. So late night or early morning, we are in alpha stage. We are in alpha stage. Alpha stage, you are studying in alpha stage. What happens when we go to the exams? We go to beta. Our hands are sweating. You keep a kerchief and then you keep your hand like that, it forms a contour. So we find that, how many of us, just raise your hands after I finish asking the question, don't raise now, as to not ask the question. How many of us have experienced, you write an exam, you come out, and then you say to your friends, I knew this. Right? Wow, majority. Why? Why did it happen? You know what? What's the psychology behind it? Very simple. We recorded it in alpha and we are playing it in beta. It won't come. Am I communicating? Am I triggering you to think? My request is, when you are getting up early morning and then studying, when you are late night when you are preparing for an exam, when it is recorded in alpha, you just have to write your exams in alpha. That's all it is. When you come out of the hall, you are in a calm, quiet state, you look at the paper, everything seems to be very familiar. I knew this very well. I have practiced it more than 5-6 times. I have written in my rough note. I know it very well. Unfortunately, I'm the kind of a chat. Now, this is a thought for all of us, including me. Now, all you need to do is what? Moment you receive the question paper, if you want one major psychological input, receive the question paper, keep it there. Close your eyes. Don't see the question paper, just close your eyes. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. To slowly count, not allowed, no lip movement, just keep your eyes closed. Look at above eye level, close your eyes, don't look behind the eyelid. That's it. You will get into alpha state. You would have reduced your brainwave frequency from greater than 14, you would have reduced it. By the time you come to 10, suppose some of you feel that, you try this when you are, for normal exams and class tests and all, try this. If it is not working, then imagine that you are in the lift and you are able to see the lift number 10 and the lift is going down, 10, 9. Don't put down the head like this. Let your head still remain the same. You will find that by the time you imagine that the lift has come down to ground level, imagine that it's opening out. Everything is in our mind. Everything we create twice. First in our mind and the next in reality. Try this, you will be in alpha state. You will be like Gautam Buddha writing exams. Right. So all the best. So that is as far as, I'm just giving you one tip. Okay, use this. This is the psychology behind this internal equilibrium. Internal equilibrium is where you come down to the alpha state. That is where recording has happened. That is where if you are able to pull it out, you will find that your marks will be far better. Okay. I'll give you some more tips as we go along. Okay, some more. It's already 5:20. Anybody remembers there are some laws in thermodynamics? Marandu vandu ukkandaka principal is trying to remind us on thermodynamic laws. The first law says that what is the symbol that we use for intrinsic energy? The symbol that we use for intrinsic energy when we are you, right? There must be some reason. Okay, so somebody wrote the book and they said, okay, it is your intrinsic energy. So all of us when we are studying, I think that is our intrinsic energy. and the lost state, the total energy is the same. Now that means the energy can be neither created or destroyed, all that. Blah, blah. Now come to think of it. Some of us may be not that good in academics. Okay, that means something else is good in us. Remember that sigma equal to 1. That is what the first law of thermodynamics is all about. I was not a great student, I mean in terms of academic performance, but in terms of impact, the noise that I create, I think I have created a lot of noise, no doubts about it, to the extent that I became number 2 in a Tata company. So it is possible that there is something in us which, if our academic performance is, if your academic performance is good, try to leverage and then do psychology, do a little more and then keep increasing your impact. If it is slightly lesser, don't lose heart, don't lose interest. There will be a lot of things. Actually, the worry today is, as counselors, I mean, I did a lot of psychology courses and I am also a counselor. I meet people on Sundays, Sunday afternoons. There are a lot of people coming in and saying, my children, I mean our children, there's a group of parents. Our children, they are saying that most of the success stories are people who are actually dropouts, school dropouts, college dropouts. So small children are saying that I would like to drop out of school. So they feel that all the big stories, I mean whether it is Bill Gates or our own Ambani, all these people are all, they didn't go to college. So there's a big challenge now for parents to say that what should I tell to the to my children, to say that there are plenty of examples. There are plenty of people who actually studied, they have passed various examinations and then they are doing very well. So there is definitely, it's not that academics is bad, it's, no doubt. So people who are paddips, who are always books and things like that, he's saying